It's a cool, dark night in mid-November 1974. A young boy is playing alone on the living room couch. Suddenly, a face appears in the large window by the front door, pure white with black eyes, expressionless. It moves from side to side, up and down. The boy screams in terror to his father that a weird man is staring in the window. The father bolts out the door to chase after the potential intruder, but he quickly returns. There is nobody there. Outside that window is an enclosed porch with a locked screen door. Nobody could have gotten in, and they certainly couldn't have ran away in mere seconds, locking the inside latch behind them. Does this sound like a child's overactive imagination? No. This is a very real event that I experienced as a child. Do you believe in ghosts? Many do. Many do not. But don't leave now, because I'm about to tell you the real story. You're listening to The Spekter. Unexplained sounds, strange bumps and knocks, disembodied voices, wispy apparitions, ghosts. An alarming number of people have experienced one of these things in their lifetime. But what are they experiencing? Where do these things come from? What is their source? If you've never experienced something strange, you've surely heard from someone who has. A family member, a friend, a colleague. If you had experienced something similar, then you believed them. If you had not, then of course you were skeptical. But what cannot be denied is that every day many people are seeing and experiencing things that our logical mind tell us just should not be. Call it a wraith, a ghast, a haint, or any of a dozen other names. Reports of ghosts and apparitions visible to the naked eye appear in accounts as far back as 5,000 years ago. They are even reported in the Bible. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason for where such things are seen, when they occur, or to whom they happen. Old homes, new homes, graveyards, churches, or even your local gas station. Young or old, rich or poor, past and present, people regularly see apparitions. After the start of the Industrial Revolution, people claiming to be spirit mediums became rampant in England and the United States. They claimed to be able to commune with the departed through seances, table rapping, able to manifest ectoplasm, ghostly slime, and even call upon ghosts themselves. Scientific researchers were amazed by such claims and began to look into it, only to find that just about every one of them was a fraud. And where there wasn't fraud, there was significant exaggeration because money was involved. But when it came to real people living their everyday lives without a financial interest, things were, shall we say, different. People were seeing real things, and they were terrified. Paranormal societies began to form to investigate these reports, but mainstream science scoffed and refused to look any more into the issue. Today, scientists in general are even more skeptical, so much so that any real scientist who takes the time to do so much as collect data is often blacklisted and shamed for being unscientific and ignorant. If one cannot even collect data, then how can real science ever be accomplished? Sociologists say that ghosts are considered to be one of a list of universal human experiences recorded by every human culture, no matter where they are on planet Earth. If it's so universal, then what keeps it from being a real phenomenon? Or are we fooling ourselves into believing something based solely in superstition and ancient paganism? Do we believe because we desperately want to, or because there is actually something there? If we are to believe modern scientific consensus, then all ghosts are not only fake, they are actually a sign of brain damage, or drug use, or hallucinations, Alzheimer's disease, optical illusions, or even shifts in Earth's tectonic plates. Strange that every possible explanation is given, except that they could be real. Why is that the only explanation that is rejected? Is there a bias in scientific circles? If you have seen something, do any of those traits describe you? If you are not experiencing brain damage or drug-induced hallucinations, then perhaps it is time for scientists to leave their safe little bubble and search for another explanation. Let's look at some clips where people have captured apparitions on camera for all to see. Are they authentic, or are we being fooled? Only you can judge. We begin in Singapore in October 2015. At what used to be the Quito restaurant and bar in Chinatown, the CCTV security camera caught the following. The stool moving by itself is amazing enough, but what is that figure which moves rapidly across the screen? Is it a bug, a bat, or something more ethereal? Many say it looks like an apparition of a toddler running away mischievously. What do you say? Moving to Phuket International Airport in Thailand. On July 31st, 2017, an airline pilot records something which shocks him to his core. He sees a trail of ghostly passengers boarding an airplane. Except there is no airplane. What is going on here? The caption in Thai reads, Flight PG-873 at Aero Bridge D206. This Aero Bridge is haunted. People keep walking out of it when it's not connected to a plane. In Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, a CCTV security camera captures an intriguing event. The camera has the date listed as May 20th, 2012, but the video wasn't uploaded until April 2014. Perhaps this event was real, but one source in Malaysia notes that over the span of a few weeks, several supposed CCTV videos were uploaded showing strange events around the country. Only you can decide if this was real or a part of a nationwide hoax. Traveling now to Bolton, UK, we arrive at the Old Man and Scythe Inn, and it's February 14th, 2014. The manager, Tony Dooley, stops by at 6 in the morning while the pub is still closed. He sees broken glass on the bar. After checking all the doors and alarms, he sees the bar was secure. So he decides to check the security camera footage and notices that the camera had stopped working. When he checked that night's footage, he sees this. What is it? Would it be relevant to tell you that this pub was founded in the year 1251? The pub reports that the ghost of James Stenley, 7th Earl of Derby, executed right outside the pub, has been seen for 300 years. Is this him? Or perhaps one of the other 24 ghosts constantly reported here? It can't be from car lights because the road outside the pub can't be driven on. It's pedestrian only. Heading now to Alton, Illinois, the McPike Mansion, summer 1999. Down in the airtight wine cellar, Renee Cruz, a Penn West University professor of applied engineering and technology, captures something unexpected on her video camera. Cruz, who has researched the paranormal as a hobby since 1977, said that this event was the scariest she'd ever experienced. The basement was about 78 degrees. But the mist was about 15 degrees and felt like an electric charge. It appeared suddenly, moved intelligently, vanishing and then reappearing. It is 24 years later, and this VHS video has still never been explained or debunked. Finally, we end up in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, at the Triangular Field. Tom Underwood takes this remarkable footage in November 2001. Often cited as one of the most authentic ghost videos ever taken, I believe this is authentic. But do you? Tell me in the comments what you think. At the beginning of this video, I promised you the real story. As with any topic relating to the unknown, there are many fake videos out there using cheap visual effects. There are also many videos where there are logical explanations for what is seen, but there are a subset where something is happening that defies rational explanation. The truth is that if you haven't experienced something like this, then nothing will make you believe until you experience it for yourself. But just because you haven't seen it doesn't make it fake. Even though investigators categorize hauntings as either residual or intelligent, we are not required to believe that ghosts are conscious entities. Perhaps they're nothing more than a temporary burst of energy. If energy is never destroyed but only converts to another form, perhaps apparitions are merely recordings of energy being replayed. This would help explain why apparitions are not merely of human beings with clothing, but also animals, plants, and buildings. Yet, if evidence of intelligence is witnessed, then what other conclusion could there be? It doesn't mean that it's the dead, but it's certainly something with a mind and a will of its own. Perhaps you don't believe, but I would strongly caution you to keep your eyes and your mind open, because one day you will see something that you cannot explain, and nobody will believe you either. That is the real story. The Intelligence Briefing video series continues with video number 4, The Placebo Effect. If you've seen a ghost, please subscribe. If you think ghosts are fake, subscribe anyway because you think I'm cool. Who am I, you ask? I am the Spekter.